And this is going to be fun. Okay, and we should be live. So, hey everyone, my name is Rad. Welcome to another episode of TA Podcast, episode number 5 after a 2-year-long hiatus. Today I'm joined by
MissAnthropy, also known as Phoenix.
And today we are going to go over some announcements that I have to make regarding Trickster Animations. Some good, some bad, unfortunately. And we're gonna chat like we always do about random stuff. Anyways, so how's your life been in the past 2 years, Phoenix?
Assuming everything other than the pandemic, because I think everybody is pretty much like, I don't even want to hear about the pandemic.
True. I guess I should say past 1 year.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretend like the last year didn't happen.
Exactly. Erase 2020, and then we can just move on from everything other than that.
All right.
But no, everything is going great. Live in that 3D printing world and just playing games when I can, drawing when I can.
Nice.
What about you?
Yeah, so I've been studying, school, working as well. I've founded a company in the meantime. Anyways,
minor side note.
Yeah. Anyways, so we've actually done some, like, Trickster Animations kind of did some things in the past year or so, though it's not been very public, mostly because of the nature of the thing. So about a year ago, we've been my high school back then, because I'm no longer at a high school. We've been running a gaming tournament.
Oh, nice.
And Trickster Animations basically did all the stream graphics and motion graphics for the tournament. So yeah, that was nice. And then what happened is that we've consolidated those tournaments under Shield and Dagger. So now my company, that's my company. So now my company is, well, not really been running the tournaments because a year that we pretended not to exist. Anyways, so yeah, there's been happening. Stuff has been happening, and so I've basically decided to do one thing, and that is to basically form a branch within Shield and Dagger, because Shield and Dagger was mainly a computer manufacturing company, and well, actually no. I should really say like hardware and software development company, because that really explains more better, or because we do a lot more than just build computers. So yeah, that's probably a better way to describe what the company does. But we've decided to form another branch called Shield and Dagger Studios. And so the good announcement is that Trickster Animations is now a part of Shield and Dagger Studios.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So what that means for Trickster Animations, for the people here, which none of them decided to join us for today's podcast, which is a shame. Would be nice to have more people here, but
we could always do more.
What can you do? Yeah, what can you do? Anyway, so basically, like, for most people, not much will change, if anything. Because, well, it's still the same studio, or not really a studio, it's just a group of people doing animations in their spare time. Right. However,
or like logistically, or like it's more just functionally under Shield and Dagger, but it's essentially functioning the same way.
Basically, it like puts Trickster Animations as a trademark, as basically Trickster Animations is now something that has some sort of legal basis. So, in case somebody decides to name their company Trickster Animations, we can go, we have that.
We have that, and we have a cooler logo, so screw off.
So, yeah.
Not that I'm biased or anything.
Yeah, you just made the logo.
It's a quality logo, so.
But on the other hand, it also means that everything we've been working on at Shield and Dagger in the past few years, so our streaming software and services, which are going to be public, but later on, but that and our rendering software, render farm software, and stuff like that is basically going to be freely available to Trickster Animations as well.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, that's why that's the good news, really. And of course, it also opens up the opportunity for when because Shield and Dagger Studios is more so. Trickster Animations would basically be the, something like, I don't know, Rooster Teeth Animations, let's say, like Rooster Teeth Productions, the guys who make videos for the public, like animated series and stuff like that.
Right.
Whereas
Yeah,
Shield and Dagger Studios is more so like the studio that you go to when you need something done for your own company. So like, if you are working on a game and you want an animated game trailer, Shield and Dagger Studios would be the people you'd contact.
Various assets or, other software or etc.
Or even, making the trailer itself.
Right, right.
So basically what that means that now people at Trickster Animations who would be interested in making some money and through that kind of work will now be easily able to. However, I'm sorry.
No, I was just, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
However,
as I said, there's also some bad news, and the bad news is that the 5 Element series, for which we've had some guests on in the past, is getting cancelled.
Oh.
Yeah. The reason it is getting cancelled is because there have been some I don't really want to say issues, but the author, the writer behind the whole story, she basically decided to no longer work on the series. And because, well, she's really the core author, the only thing I did for the series, for the series in terms of writing was just rewriting the written story into a script for voice actors and animators and to use. So I just don't really feel like it would be okay for us to just go on and create the series without her.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
In the process.
I mean, because it would, more than likely it would change a lot. I mean, it just, if you lose the lead author, then
yeah.
I mean, might be time to take it into a different series, or I mean, I know you've got like unending amounts of ideas for this series.
Yeah.
Like that, so I doubt there'll be a shortage there of options.
True. The thing is, like, the story is basically written, but what she's been doing for us is she's been like rewriting the story because it's really like I've seen the story and I think it's actually publicly available for free even. Thing is, of course, there's the ethical side of things, really. Like, it's not that I'm worried we would change the series because that's not something I would do. But it's just like she's stopped working on it, so, and I take that as a just, hey, let's not do this anymore. Let's not continue. So yeah, it's more like for me, an kind of an ethical thing, an ethical decision to just cancel the series entirely. So yeah, of course, the problem with that is now that every voice actor that we've had on and who's recorded lines for the series, all of that work is now essentially, all of that time has now gone to waste. Same goes for the people who have been doing the performance acting and performance capture work on the animations.
Oh wow!
Here in Czech Republic, in a few motion capture studios, Shield and Dagger has actually designed. That being said, those people have gotten paid for their work because they were actors. Unfortunately, they were not.
Right.
Somebody had to get paid at some point. So yeah, and to be fair, like we did kind of interrupt their own like money making opportunities for the for the project, whereas the voice actors that have worked with us, we didn't really like book a studio time with them. They were doing it in their free time, and I get that sounds like bad as well, in a sense that like some people got paid and some people didn't, but in the end that's just unfortunately how this went. And to be fair, there's even if the voice actors were to get paid their fair share, it wouldn't really be much. So yeah.
Well, it's a good segue into, like, I mean, it's still sad overall, but like it still can be a good segue into upcoming projects, because you have, knowledge and experience with these people and their talents, and you've already got a working group to be able to pull from whatever project
True,
you
yeah.
do next.
There's also the thing that even like this kind of failure really has given us a learning opportunity, especially on my end with the whole leadership in the project.
Right.
Of course, there's been some things done wrong here and there, and that's like probably one of the reasons why what happened has happened. So yeah, anyways, so those are the two announcements that we've had to go through, and now for the, I guess, more fun part of our podcast, where we just talk about random things. Anyway, so there's been a lot of things going on in the past few months, right? There's been games coming out and stuff.
Yeah, a lot of different games coming out. I've been,
Some
digging into the
some releases better than others, admittedly.
Yes, very true. I think you've been on the larger game side of the spectrum, and I've been like digging deep into the indie games segment.
Yeah. I guess like I've played both Cyberpunk and Hitman 3 already.
Right, AAA games.
Yeah, and I'm already hyped for Project 007 from IO Interactive. If you know, have you heard of that?
No.
Oh, okay. So IO Interactive has basically released a tiny teaser trailer, which is basically, how there's the 007 movie intro.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it's basically their version of that. That's the whole thing they released.
Gotcha.
And that was enough to get me hyped for it, so yeah. Well, okay, that and me knowing how they handled the Hitman series. To be fair, Hitman is their brainchild, really, but still. I kind of trust IOI to do justice to their 007 game. Anyway, so, yeah, to be fair, I don't really, So, have you been following the news coverage around Cyberpunk 2077?
Yeah, like a fair amount. I know that it came out. It was admittedly like fairly buggy, some issues there, and the community, just went up in arms about it, and was, I think, even like suing the company over it.
There was a class action lawsuit, but I think
Yeah.
I don't know how that went. To be fair, I know that there's been some things around Sony trying to sue CD Projekt Red regarding the state of the game.
Really, that's the whole thing. Like, my personal view on it is, I feel like I hate it when the community does this, because they'll push and push, and they'll bitch, and hurry up, why isn't it being released, and
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
hurry.
Yeah.
And so they hurry, they put it out, and they're like, okay, hey guys, this is what you wanted, right? And then they're like, it's buggy. What the hell? Why is it not perfect? Why isn't it this? And it's like,
Yeah,
because
exactly.
you rushed us. You wanted it out, and we gave you what you wanted. Well,
And
this isn't what I wanted. It's like, oh my god.
no,
And I
that's
feel like
not even the worst thing, really. Like,
yes,
well, I mean, yeah, it happened, but this is what happened, and it's horrible. But the worst thing is that then there are some people who are like, you know how there was in the first E3 announcement they made of the game, coming when it's ready.
yes, yes.
I've read articles who were like, they said it coming when it's ready. It was not ready, but it still came. And I'm like, because you yelled at them for 2 years about releasing it earlier.
Exactly. I feel like that is it's such a bad thing for the community because it's going to discourage potential, this is why that especially for like, the indie communities even like you'll see games that seem to be in like perma alpha, perma beta stages, right? And it's because
Star Citizen.
people because they're like they're like so petrified of like the fans like just roasting them and everybody going like I want a refund, and just going like betraying them essentially. So they'll
Yeah.
like a lot of times these smaller places they'll just keep it in alpha and beta like constantly because they're just afraid that that's how the community's going to turn on them. And as far as like for the bigger studios, I feel like it like really limits the potential for like really creative games because if these AAA studios they get an idea and they think, well, that could be great, but it's not like it's not a guaranteed success. So we don't want to like take any chances on like fringe or unique ideas. They're going to just like stay in the main lane and limit their creative bubble to like
Yeah.
like your freaking Call of Duties and this and that, like whatever, like trash that they
Yeah.
just like keep turning out, like and just like repeating and painting a new cover on and throwing out there, and that's what we're going to get stuck in if the gaming community, just can't get their shit together and either a let people let studios take the time that they need to polish something and do it properly, and or both b allow, especially when a game is just released, allow there to be bugs. There's always going to be bugs, and especially when something is just launched, and you have to be aware of and willing to deal with that process, or it's literally going to limit the potential like options or games that are put out from like here on out. Like this, and then did you hear about the other thing that happened too? That they got ransomwared
Oh
Cyberpunk.
yeah, yeah, yeah. They did. The CD Projekt Red got. Yeah, they
They
got.
sold off their code.
They well, yeah, that's happened. I think there's already been leaks found online, like available for free. But, so the whole gist of the story was that they got attacked by ransomware. CD Projekt Red has recovered everything that was lost during the attack, and they've managed to secure their network, which is good. But when they've successfully done that, they were held for ransom on just being able to not have that info that got encrypted and stolen aired out in the public. And CD Projekt Red just went, no, sure, publish it. We don't care. Which I think is actually. They basically, I think the line was like, we won't negotiate with criminals or something like that.
Right.
And to be fair, like, especially if there aren't any like personal information, or isn't any personal information for like the customers of CD Projekt Red, then I think that like this was a good good reaction, a good move to that, because like the game is out.
Yeah, I think it was
Really,
source code.
yeah, really anyone who wants can get the source code out of the game, or at least like something close to it out of the game that has come out of the game files. So really, what are you publishing? It's nothing really.
Yeah, and what do you want to bet though that like Roboto pointed this idea out? Like, what do you want to bet that one of those low life scumbag gamers that were like bitching about, it's buggy, I'm pissed, I want a refund. Well, now I'm just gonna take my like my subpar skills and go try to ransomware their like hack them and stuff. It's like you just
Yeah,
know it's one of those people.
it, if that's a thing that happened, it just
Such crap.
no, it just come on.
It's
Yeah,
very possible.
like I'm pretty sure that people, I guess, well, considering that we live in a day and age where hacker groups are literally selling malware to people who don't know what that word even means. I guess it's a possibility. Like, I'm with you on that. But I think like a particular hacker group, like, basically took credit for the attack. So I don't think that's what happened here. Even though it would be hilarious. That was
Hackers
a
are
thing.
gamers too. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I know, but like I think hackers would also like understand that, software has bugs.
That's fair. You'd like to think.
I mean, they write software, they know their software is buggy as shit. They exploit bugs. Come on.
That's true. Hackers are very pro bugs.
Yeah.
They're like, please let your software have bugs in it. I hate complete software.
Yeah. So, yeah. But the funny thing is, I wasn't even that hyped for Cyberpunk. Like, I was like, hey, CD Projekt is releasing it. It could be a good game. I guess I'm gonna play it at some point.
Oh, I think it looks great. I love the story.
Yeah, I'll play. I played it, so yeah, I'm totally 100% with you on that. But like, I know like friends around me, were totally hyped on the game. So yeah.
Yes, same. A lot of our friends were like just like going crazy about it.
Yeah, and then I saw the Hitman 3 announcement, and I was like, okay, now I get okay, now I get all my friends who are totally hyped for Cyberpunk, because Hitman at this point is basically my, my game,
Final
really.
Fantasy.
Not really. Like, Final Fantasy is still better, but.
Good point.
So yeah, like I have a friend. I was telling you this before, but I have a friend who basically bought Hitman 2 because we wanted to play Ghost Mode in it. Unfortunately, Ghost Mode was cancelled, so that's the whole thing. But he genuinely enjoys Hitman 2, the Hitman game as well, and like I've played Hitman so much, like Hitman 1, 2, and 3, for the past few days, so much that I literally know where everything is. And there's a mission in a New York bank, I think it's the last, or maybe not the last. I don't know. It's like one of the last two missions in the game, in Hitman 2. And there's like a thing you have to like you go to a vault where there's a server, and you pull out a hard drive from the server, and it's huge. You basically can't hide it really, and it's an illegal item. So when you carry it, everybody knows that you're doing something you're not supposed to. And he was like asking me where to find a key from some car that's in the garage, and I'm like, I don't know. I that's the one thing I don't know. Like, I have no clue where the key is. So I was like, I don't know. I just usually go out the front door. And he's like, but how do I go out the front door with this thing while still keeping Silent Assassin? And I'm like, do you have a briefcase?
See, now that you're talking about keys, it's just making me think of Devour.
Anyway, so he has the thing in his hand, and I'm like, do you have a briefcase? And yeah, I have it right here. Try using conceal item. He does it, and it's like you can, like, the thing that literally looks larger than most briefcases in the game, well, almost, can literally fit in a briefcase. And when you do that, of course, suddenly, like, everybody, no one cares anymore. So yeah, that was fun. Like, that was a thing that I did not know initially either. So yeah, I actually had a different route to sneak out through, but then I found out, and it literally in the item description for the server, or for the hard drive, whatever you want to call it. I call it server because it's large, but the game calls it the server hard drive. Anyways, point is, there's a it has an item description, and it says can be concealed in a briefcase or something like that. So, like, if you read the item description, the game will tell you, but most people do not do that. Because to read the item description, you basically have to go into, like, the mission intel portion of the game, and, you already completed your mission, so usually mission intel at this point is useless.
Oh, right.
It's kind of counterintuitive in that sense, but yeah, so that's one of the things, like, and, like, things like that happen, like, a lot. Like, he asked me a lot of times about, like, help with some stuff around in Hitman 2, and I'm pretty sure he's gonna ask me about Hitman 3 as well once he starts playing it.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Anyways, that was a very long tangent that I went on. When I tried to say that now that after seeing the Hitman 3 announcement, I finally understood the hype people were feeling or having for Cyberpunk. Anyways,
Yeah.
so
Exactly.
what games have you been up to playing?
I have been on this huge tangent, if you will, of playing horror indie games. So, in fact, there's an alpha starting or going on this weekend for Midnight Ghost Hunt that I am like looking very forward to trying out, because that game, it almost kind of reminds me of like because it's like team based, and so you'll have a group of like ghost hunters. Like I think it's like 4v4 or something like that. And you have like four ghost hunters and then versus like four other people that are playing ghosts. And the ghosts are needing to like attack the hunters and hide in things and like possess objects, and like the ghost hunters of course are trying to like sneak around. And it almost like has like they're like shooting like these plasma beams, which almost feels like very Ghostbustery. It's like it's it's very fun looking. So that I've got to try out today. Of course, I've been playing Dead by Daylight for like 2,000 hours, so that's
Yeah, that's what the whole. That's the game that got you into the whole thing, right?
yes, that was my gateway drug into like horror genre in totality. Like because of that, I started watching horror movies because it's like all the killers. It's like, oh, Michael Myers and you know Pig, from Amanda from Saw, and like all these things. So I started watching all the movies, and then like now Phasmophobia, another Ghost Hunter game. So that I sort of was like, oh, Ghost Hunter, like scary ghosts horror game. Okay, let's try that. So I've like I've got like
Yeah.
150 hours into that, which is like so much fun because I love playing with like my friends. Like I was telling you before, like I don't have a whole lot of time to play, so whenever I play, I want to play something where I can play in smaller
With other
groups, like
people.
with other people, with my friends and stuff. So, we've been ghost hunting on the Phasmophobia. Their developer, I guess it was like initially created and like put out there by just like by one guy. Pretty sure it's DK is his name, and like all of a sudden it started to like blow up like a couple of months ago, and he was actually able to then he's got like maybe a couple of other guys now like working with him, other devs, and they've been like pumping out like the changes and bug fixes and
Yeah.
like new like features and like all this stuff. Like it's like there's an update like every other day, sometimes a couple a day. Like he's like
Nice.
killing it. So that is a whole lot of fun. And then of
Well,
course I tried Devour, and that is terrifying. You're like trying to like save like this cult leader was taken over by this like demon or something or other, and like so you're like sneaking around trying to like sacrifice goats, and then like she'll like switch into like chase mode, and she'll like just like fucking book it after you and like just like jump scare you and scream and drag you off, and your friends gotta say it's like literally I'm like screaming in my house like a little kid every time I get jump scared by these things, but it's so much fun. Yes, thank you, Dead by Daylight, for like converting me into all
yeah.
horror all the time.
Who knows?
Oh my
Maybe
god!
next time. Sorry.
Oh, it just made me think, like with the new movies and stuff. You know Steve from Stranger Things?
I don't watch Stranger
Okay.
Things.
Well, there's a new he just did a new movie that just came out like 2 days ago. We just watched it. It's called Spree, and premise being he plays uh the killer. He's like, just obsessed with getting like internet notoriety and stuff, and he's been like trying to do like a YouTube channel for like 10 years, and just like, nothing's going anywhere. And finally he just like is like, okay, you know what? I know what's gonna like going to live stream. He's basically kind of like an Uber driver, and just like starts like knocking people off, like live
Oh,
streaming it. It is very
okay.
sinister.
That's
Very,
wow.
very fun. It's like both comedy and like, there were moments where we're like be laughing, and then other ones where we're like literally like jumping up and like, oh my god, I can't believe that just happened. It was so much fun. So if you like horror movies, you should watch that.
Uh,
It's on Hulu for free if you've got Hulu.
I don't know. No.
Okay.
I don't. I don't think it's available over where I'm at. So yeah.
Oh, you can like it doesn't like well, I mean, it's
I
on.
don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. Let me check.
Yeah. It would be worth a watch.
And still gonna say no, but
Yes, probably.
start your free trial. Let's see. Let's
So,
see.
so Spree is a good one. That was
I guess it. I guess it works. I guess it works here. But that's weird because like Disney Plus, like the
Yeah.
Disney, so that's not available here.
Ugh.
And yeah, I mean to be fair, the only reason I would do it was for Star Wars.
I know. I can't believe it's like one of the whenever you like if you hear things saying like monopoly of things like my first thing jumps to Disney now. They just like soaking up all the
Yeah,
it's
even Fox News is Disney's.
like, oh my god, it's like they own too much. Too much.
Wait, is it actually? Is it Fox News owns Disney or Disney owns Fox News? I don't know anymore.
Disney owns them for sure. Which,
Anyways,
if that's the case, then that is just terrible, and now I dislike them even more.
yeah. This is actually this is a nice segue into the next topic that I actually wanted to talk about: shows and movies that we've been watching in the time that we haven't really talked and streamed and
Yes,
made a
yes.
podcast.
I even dipped my toe back into anime,
Really, I haven't.
and I just binged Demon Slayer.
I haven't, though. I mean, I guess our viewers should tell me, does Ruby from Rooster Teeth count as an anime? Because I don't know, but it's the only animated show I've been.
No,
Actually, no.
yeah, that's definitely an anime.
Actually, now that I think about it, I watch a ton of animated shows.
I was just gonna say, I could have swore you watched a crap ton of them.
Yeah. Anyways, let me just open up Netflix real quick so I know how many.
You're like, I don't watch anime, and then there's like 12 in there.
I mean, because I like make the distinction animated show like Western animation and anime like Japanese animation.
Yeah. Well, Japanese animation. Yeah.
Anyways, so that's like okay, I've seen The Hollow, so that's an that's like an animated show on Netflix.
Oh, yes.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, I wouldn't consider that one as much. No, I'm aware of it, but I've not seen it.
Oh, okay. I mean, I've got. What about Snowpiercer? Have you seen that? It's a show. It's not. It's not an animated show,
Yeah.
by the way.
Yeah. No, I've seen a lot of like previews on it, and it looks very interesting. For whatever reason, like it doesn't like get my full attention pulled, so I haven't sat down to like watch it.
Yeah.
But that's not for things.
I've actually watched it out of boredom.
Yeah.
There's literally one point I was bored. My laptop was dead, so I couldn't do any work or anything. The only thing that I had that worked was my phone, and so I was like, I guess I'm just gonna go watch some movies then, or something. And I opened up Netflix, and I guess I started watching Snowpiercer, but
You don't like it, or it's like it also looks very depressing.
it's definitely very depressing. It's like
Yeah.
literally the entire the remaining
Human race.
human
Yeah.
race, yeah, the remnants of the human race are on the train. So it's a very depressing. But that being said, I don't know. It just like at times it feels way too slow. Like
Oh, right.
you know, like there are moments where like shit's happening, shit's going down, and then there's like those times where shit's still going down, but somehow it feels like nothing's happening. Pacing
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, it's like, yeah. You're taking too long.
Anyways.
That's kind of how that's kind of how oh gosh, what is it? Again, oh, the big freaking show that everybody was into, and it was like, oh, I can't get into this because there's not enough dragons and warfare.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. I know. and yeah, and then they fight the last season.
God, yeah, it was like I started reading it.
I've seen only the first season, by the way.
Gosh, what's the name of the damn thing?
But you don't know the name?
No, it's just like it's stuck on the tip of my tongue.
Okay, it's Game of Thrones. I thought you were just like trying to avoid saying the name of the thing.
No, it's not like Beetlejuice. It's okay.
but Beetlejuice has to be set 3 times in a row. So
Yeah, it's too true. No, like so I when that was like first coming out and stuff, I was like, you know what, I'll try to read because like I told this guy is a great author, blah blah blah. So I started reading it. I got 100 pages in, and I was like, ugh, this is so tedious, and like just so much interpersonal drama, like just seedy interpersonal drama. I was like,
yeah,
okay, this is just too much for me. And then like I watched like an episode, and then I was just like, okay, no, no. And my sister got like super into it, and then like I remember at a certain point, like she was watching it, and I was over, and I was like season 4, season 6 at this point, and it was like something had just happened that I had read in the book, in the very first book, in the first 100 pages, and they had just gotten to that. I was like, oh my god, this show, yeah, pacing people, pacing. My god, they
I
just
mean, like out of the entire Game of Thrones series, the only thing I've seen were like cutouts from the Daenerys storyline, and this is the only thing I've actually watched and enjoyed watching. Like even when I was watching the first season, and I've watched the first season in full, I was always just like looking forward to that Daenerys Targaryen storyline.
yes, yes. You know what? In fact,
And
her
yeah,
storyline was like from some of the better parts of it. It was like more interesting and stuff. So I mean, there were good parts, and it's not like it was like complete trash or anything. And he is a good writer. It's just it's way too much focus on interpersonal drama than I care for. It's like it felt like watching, like you would say like daytime soap operas, that kind of thing. It felt like a nighttime soap opera.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like I don't know if you're probably not familiar with. I don't know if they've got them there or whatever, but like
we do,
there's like
we do.
I hate like soap operas are just complete garbage. I hate them so much. And so that's what it felt like was just like a nighttime soap opera.
You know the show Scrubs.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, imagine that turned into soap opera. That's what we have here.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Anyways,
Oh my god, that's too funny. Yeah.
ah,
Glad.
so quick question:
Yeah.
Marvel or DC?
I guess I'd have to go DC because I'm Batman, but I'm not
Okay,
actually all that into superhero stuff.
so I'm not gonna piss you off by this. That's good.
Yeah, you could trash on shit on Avengers or all those things all you want. I don't care.
Well, I mean, I like both, kinda. Well, not really. I actually like Marvel more. But, anyways, I've watched, the Titans show on Netflix. Have you seen it?
Mm-mm.
No. Okay.
But if it's that kind of stuff, I'm gonna be.
It's like it's the first season is basically everything I've been saying about DC Comics movies in the past few years, and that was just when DC makes comics, it's good. When DC makes movies, it's like the biggest steaming pile of crap I've ever seen.
I assume we're not talking about the Dark Knight trilogy, though.
Sure, there are exceptions, but like most DC movies I've ever seen are just
That's
like
all Christopher Nolan. We can
ugh.
to him.
I guess I don't know.
You can not like him for other things. Like I know everybody has been giving him shit about Tenet. I haven't gotten a chance to watch it yet, but like
Me neither.
the Dark Knight trilogy is amazing to me. So
Right.
Inception and stuff. So
yeah, so like if I were to compare Marvel to DC, I like I'd agree with most people saying that DC comics are better, but Marvel does the movie better always. Like
yeah.
I've never seen them do a movie worse than a DC movie ever. Shows are a whole another story.
Yeah. No, that's fair. I mean,
the Iron Fist show is just not great. Like it's watchable. I've seen it in its entirety. It's fine. It's nowhere near the Marvel movie quality. And then there's like DC's Titans, and like the first season is basically on the same level as DC movies, and then the second season is at least the Iron Fist. So yeah, anyways, like I actually enjoyed the second season of Titans way more than the first season, and yeah, I liked it. Like I like the story in both, but yeah.
My sister is like super into all that stuff. She would like probably know all those shows and have watched them all. Like she's like crazy about it. I could never like really get into the only storyline that ever particularly spoke to me was like the Dark Knight like storyline. Other than that, like I really most of their basic premise to them actually annoy the bejesus out of me. Superman annoys me. Everything about Stan Lee I find to be a hack. He drives me crazy.
Wait, Stan Lee?
Yes,
like the Marvel guy.
All his shit. Yes, I hate all his shit.
Okay.
I hate his creations. I just hate the names. Like, and who makes Aquaman? What is that? And then half of them are like, and Captain America. Don't get me started because that's during, it's all this like 50s, America's the best kind of like nonsense, and that just annoys the crap out of me. The what was it, the Red Fist or whatever guy that's like clearly, like clearly like based on Hitler, during like the Red Scare kind of stuffs.
Yeah.
Like it's just, I can't.
And of course the Soviets got the Nazi scientists, except Americans did too.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. So it's like, come on. He just like that's like half of his stuff is written with that like mentality of like older during the 50s and America's the best. We are supreme of the world, and it's just like, good God.
Like, to be fair to the guy, he did write those stories at the time he wrote them. So yeah. It's not like they are stories written in 2015.
True, but just his style even, like, I don't particularly care for. But yes, those ones particularly annoyed me the most. So yes, time-wise, like, that was definitely not my time, and I did not care for it.
But by the way, have you seen the Fast and Furious animated show on Netflix?
No, I didn't know there was an animated one.
Yeah, they made one.
Oh my god, is it garbage?
I don't know. I like it, but I like almost everything. So, like even the DC movies and shows that I say are crap, I actually like. So,
like I can appreciate certain aspects of them.
Yeah.
That's kind of funny.
Like
the very first movie is the only one that I saw, and like wasn't particularly my thing, but the first one was kind of fun. But now they're what, like they made like 7 or 8 of them.
Yeah. so Fast and Furious Spy Racers, which is like the animated show, and they've got 3 seasons out now. Don't at me. Anyways, point is, it's borderline kids show. Like,
oh, okay.
There's like, but like, so for what about?
I mean, if it's animated, I would guess so.
Yeah, but like, there's like kids show Dora the Explorer,
Oh,
right?
like
Like,
that word.
no, borderline. Like, it's not that. Thankfully,
Oh, okay. So maybe.
it's like it's actually like got an actual story, and like it doesn't patronize the viewers in a way. Like, I'm not sure if patronize is the right word, but yeah, it's like it's not made. It's not a show that's made for kids, so like they learn stuff. Unlike Dora the Explorer and
Right.
uh,
Yeah. So kind of like
a
Teen
lot of
Titans.
those. Yeah, I guess Teen Titans would be that it's that kind of show. Actually, I haven't seen Teen Titans, but I would imagine that is a lot like that. Oh, and
Whoops.
Phoenix dropped out. She's
Something.
back.
I
Uh,
was just trying to change the channel in
yeah.
general, but I changed my voice channel for a second.
Anyway, so that's happened. Okay, so and then there's Carmen San Diego. San Diego.
I had so much fun with that. When I was a kid,
You
though, I liked it. Not now. Like I don't watch it now.
you didn't watch it?
No, I did when I was a kid.
No, I mean I mean the new show, the one on Netflix. That's on Netflix now.
That's right. I do recall there was something coming out on there, but no,
Yeah,
I
like
didn't watch it.
it's even more borderline kids show. Like there is now that element of like telling kids about stuff, you know.
The old educational show. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not. Again, it's not so on the nose for it to be unwatchable to people like to older people. And there's still, again, like I don't know, like I wouldn't call it an amazing story, but the story is not bad. It's definitely nowhere near like Avatar: The Last Airbender story, but
Right.
but you know, it's like it like I literally looked for. I have been looking forward to every season that came out, and the story's now over, and I can't complain. That's all I say. All I'll say about that show.
That's not bad. Not quite the ringing endorsement, but it's it's not too shabby.
To be fair, like I'll say I like the show, but it was crap, and then there's like I can't complain. So I loved the show really, but yeah. Anyways, yeah, I've actually been. I'm just going through my list on Netflix, and I'm kind of realizing that I've been watching a ton of movies and shows and stuff on Netflix.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot more. I've been doing a lot more movies. Or well, no, and then like documentaries, but like it's because I'm like a huge into like crime documentaries and stuff.
Oh,
It's what
yeah.
my studies
I,
were in and stuff. So.
I've actually. Have you seen Blacklist?
No, I've come across that, but I've not watched it.
Oh,
No.
okay. I actually.
No, but I mean like like real life, like not even just like. I mean, I do like the fictional stuff too, because Criminal Minds and stuff like that. Love it, but more like the actual documentaries.
Yeah, it's nowhere near that, but yeah. I think you'd kind of like it. Oh yeah, I just saw Kipo and the Age of Wonder Beasts. Have you seen that show?
I've not.
Okay. I'm not gonna say anything about it. I'm just gonna say that I totally loved that show.
Nice.
So yeah, I love it. It's just
Actually,
yeah.
okay. So, have you seen Alice in Borderland?
Not yet.
Okay, but that's on your to-do list as well, right?
I've had it in my list. I've totally had it in my list.
Same, and I've been like meaning to like sit down and watch it because it looks like hella interesting.
Yeah. Like
I like because it's like a real like it almost looks like live action anime. It's kind of like
yeah, that's to be fair, the fact that it's Asian made, you know.
No, but like even the premise though, like
Yeah, that's
it's
yeah,
like
true.
it's kind of like it's almost like in like a post-apocalyptic kind of borderland like world,
Yeah.
but it's also them participating in a game.
Yeah.
So I mean that sounds like if you told me that description, I would assume you were talking about an anime.
I would actually think, are you talking about Sword Art Online?
I love Sword Art Online. That's my favorite one. Season 1 Sword Art Online is like, yeah, for the win. I love it.
Yeah, I just can't wait for something like that to exist in real life, without the issues that were in Sword Art Online. But yeah.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. Without that little twist. I definitely don't want that little twist.
Kind of like the second one, except without the emotional manipulation twist.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, that twist is better than, you're stuck and you die in real life if you die in the game, but
Exactly.
still, I would like that to also not be a thing.
Exactly. Exactly.
So, yeah. So, what other shows have you been watching? Because
I know. I was just like looking through my list too. You got me like all like watching that. Like, oh, did you see speaking of Marvel, speaking of Spider-Man, and then speaking of the actor, and
which actor? Tom Holland?
yes, Tom Holland. So now
Okay.
Tom Holland. the 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 Devil All the Time.
No, I haven't seen that.
Okay, that's on Netflix. It's really, really good.
I'm pretty sure I will not find it because
Really, really dark. Like hella dark.
oh, okay, I will find it. That's surprising.
I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty depressed at the end of it, but it was so good.
Have you seen Shaft?
Shaft.
I love that movie. What?
Shaft. Why do you even know of Shaft? I think wait, there was a new one that was made, right?
Oh,
Or maybe?
yeah. It's 2019 Netflix with
Yeah,
Samuel L. Jackson.
2019. Yeah, you were 19, I think. Yeah. Yeah. But no, yeah, Shaft was like a really old movie. And
Oh, okay.
Jackson, so I guess that's what.
Okay, yes. Okay, okay.
I guess the OG one was like I'd never even seen it, but it's like it's old.
Yeah, there's a
I guess there's
2019 version by Netflix, and I loved it.
that's right. I think I do recall like seeing that come up, but it never seemed all that interesting to me.
Like
But then again, I don't really know a lot about it, so.
I haven't seen the old movies, so I have no clue. But it kind of feels like a sequel to something, like.
Oh yeah, it definitely is a sequel. It's definitely a sequel.
Okay, so yeah, it's because like it ends with basically a third Shaft. Like the grandpa Shaft, the dad Shaft, and the son Shaft.
Exactly. Oh my god. Oh, you know what else? Like, we're like super into like a lot of like the like British shows and stuff. Like, so we're constantly like finding
Black Mirror.
to stream. Like, no, like Channel 4 and stuff.
Oh,
So like we'll like watch Gogglebox. But have you ever seen What We Do in the Shadows?
I don't think I have actually.
Oh my god, What We Do in the Shadows is freaking hilarious, and I think they're going to be starting up a new season, but I think it's been pushed back until October. I think because of effing pandemic and all that. But like
Yeah.
it's actually Tahiti Waiki. I always like screw up his name. Have you heard of that guy? He's actor slash director.
I think I've seen him somewhere, but yeah, go on.
Okay, so the JoJo. Oh, gosh darn it, what was that called? JoJo and the rabbit or something or other. Oh,
I don't know.
Jojo Rabbit. Okay, so
yeah, that, yeah.
okay, so he wrote that, and he's the one who played Hitler in it. I know that sounds really grim, but
Yeah, I know what that movie is about. So I realized the thing.
no, it's quite good. It's
Yeah, no, I know.
has such a good premise.
Again, I know. I've seen the movie, so yeah.
Okay, so he is he writes the series. They first did a movie, What We Do in the Shadows, and he acted in it as one of the vampires.
Oh, okay.
And now he's like doing this show as a series. And so the premise is that they're like it's like a housemates like living together of like a few like 4 different vampires, and like the various like things and squabbles and like daily things that they go through, and it's just really funny.
Hmm.
Like it's all comedy, but like you've got like one vampire, like three of them are like more standard vampires, and then one guy is what they call a time vampire, right? What do they call it? Like a time vampire thing.
Okay.
And Colin Robinson, energy vampire. Sorry, time vampire, energy vampire. Yes, okay, okay, yes, I'm a time vampire, as Roboto just mentioned. So, so he's an energy vampire, and they're the type of person that like, would like come to talk to you in like an office and like constantly just like kind of going around and like trying to like make small talk with you that like goes nowhere and is of no importance and just like just saps your energy to like deal with and like talk to. That's what he is. He is an energy vampire, and that's legitimately what he does. And
Oh my god.
it's very comical. Yes, Colin Robinson, can you stop draining our energy again? It's really fun. So if you like, British comedies, like that is one to like check out.
All right.
Of course, he is from New Zealand, which I am like completely obsessed with, and like our only hope in this world is to eventually be and God, I wish it could be sooner rather than later to move to New Zealand, get out of effing America, and just go live in New Zealand, a place where not everybody there has their heads up their asses. Oh, it would be so amazing, and not least of which, it is the land of the Lord of the Rings. So we can go live in the Shire. Who
uh,
doesn't want that?
true. By the way,
I can be one with the Shire.
back on the topics of shows and TV series. What the fuck? Shows and movies we've seen. Have you seen Lupin yet?
Which one?
Lupin.
Huh. Never even heard of it.
It's in Sherlock Holmes, one of the villains, I guess you could say, was Arsène Lupin.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know of that one, but I love Sherlock Holmes.
Okay, so basically, it's not really about him. About like it's not the other side to Sherlock Holmes stories, but that's actually the reason I thought it would be good to see it. It's not, but it's still an amazing show. Like I loved it. It's the main character is a guy who in France, who basically is a thief by occupation, and it starts with him pulling off a theft of a necklace. And the reason he steals the necklace was because his father got arrested, put in prison, and committed suicide because of being accused of him stealing that necklace, even though he didn't steal it. So basically, his son, the guy who stole the necklace, he kind of stole it for that like reason, like to kind of like, I guess it would start like a bit of a revenge, like my father died because of this, so now it's my family's, in that sense. And like as the story goes on, he like uncovers things that just aren't quite making sense, and finds out that his dad did not steal the necklace, and that the necklace was actually never stolen in the first place.
Interesting.
And then, like, the second half of the first season is him basically trying to expose the family who is expose the people who are responsible for his father's death in a sense, because they framed his father, right? So yeah,
What was it called again?
Lupin.
Lupin. I have to watch that.
Lupin is it's French,
Gotcha. I just found another movie that I had watched that is new from this year that you absolutely have to watch. It's called The Old Guard.
I've seen it. I loved it.
So good. I watched as soon as I saw it come up there. I was like, done watching this, and I was like blown away. I was like, oh my god, that was amazing. Like it's just like the storyline, the action, like it's just freaking, and the acting in it is like fantastic. Sorry, I don't know if you heard that. That was my husky. having a conversation.
I heard something, but it was kind of okay. I haven't heard that. It was like more of like I don't know. I guess it was more like your breath in the microphone. What
Oh,
I
okay.
heard.
So yeah,
So
we
yeah.
have that was one of the other things that we got. We have which is now a 1 year old husky. And she is the cutest damn thing, and they are the softest dogs in the entire freaking world. I swear, it's like it could be its own therapy to just sit and pet her. Like I just want to sit and pet her all of the livelong day because she's that soft. Love them.
But by the way, would you watch live action Titans?
Right. I mean, I would imagine so.
So quick question: who is your favorite character from if you have one, of course, from Teen Titans?
Oh, like live action Teen Titans. Let's see.
Well, it's actually like kind of a mix between the two because there are characters from both. But yeah.
I always like. Oh, Raven.
Okay.
Obviously, come on.
But I have a friend who didn't like her, so that's why I'm asking.
Well, she definitely suits my. I'm not the into like the bubbly characters and that, and you know,
Oh,
I guess like
yeah.
obviously not gonna be like Robin's not gonna be my type there, but I like the dark brooding types. So Raven is definitely my type.
Let me just send you something real quick. So this is her in live action, in the live action version.
Oh, so that's what the show is?
Uh,
Titans is Teen Titans like?
it's both because there are, as I said, characters from both Teen Titans and Titans.
Oh, well then I am interested. Let's see. Titans show. Let's just see what we got here. All right. Yes. No, that's first of all, that's my style. So she's already hit the mark there. Yeah, I'll definitely be interested in watching that. You know what? I bet Vincent would be into it too because he loves that show. So.
All right.
Oh yeah, it is those characters. How fun.
But by the way, she starts out without the thing in her forehead. So, like, unlike in the show, at least according to my friend who has watched it, because I haven't watched Teen Titans, you see her get the crystal in her forehead in the
Okay.
live action.
Interesting. Yeah, no, I'll have to watch that now. On my list. Check.
And I'm just gonna say because again, like I've talked about this with my friends, so I'm pretty sure, but they have not changed what the crystal is in her case.
Oh
if you remember. Oh, you haven't. Okay.
No, I've not watched.
Okay, so
I've only watched like a little.
okay, so I'm gonna
evenly matched on that.
I'm gonna shut up then.
Yeah, we're probably evenly matched on that.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I probably at this point I know more because I know what the crystal is.
Now. Never mind. I mean, with regard to the cartoon.
Yeah.
Oh no, because you can say it's crosses over. I got you.
Well, I mean, I have no clue what the story in the in the cartoon is, so yeah.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't know what the premise is. I just know that they all live together and then they, various.
I might actually watch it.
Various mishaps and just amusements.
Oh, so it's more like okay. So the story in Titans is much more serious.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
Why are Teen Titans not on Netflix? At least for me, anyways.
Yeah, I don't think that they're on there for me either. I think they might be on. Where are they? I feel like I've seen them somewhere. Maybe it's on Hulu or something, but I'm not positive. I think it's because I don't think there's like anything like Cartoon Network stuff like on Netflix because it's Cartoon Network that runs the show, the series.
Yeah, but
like
Cartoon Network is where.
So I would not imagine that any of their stuff would be on Netflix.
Do they like have their own streaming app as well? I mean, to be
I
they do have full
surprised, but I'm not
episodes,
sure.
but I don't know. Like Cartoon Network feels like kind of small compared to Disney and
Well,
HBO.
true,
So
but I mean, there's even like CBS has its CBS All Access app and blah blah blah.
oh, that's true, I guess.
NBC's got Peacock, as it were now.
Well, I mean, NBC isn't. Oh wait, NBC. Shit. I'm trying to figure out whether NBC and HBO have a relation.
And then HBO Max. Yeah, we wanted a la carte, and we got it.
Oh right, never mind. HBO is Warner. I forgot.
It's
Okay.
hard to keep track.
Yeah, it is.
Just too many. There's just too many.
I've literally just went and wait. What? HBO and NBC weren't they there? And then I just typed in NBC Universal and HBO into Google, and it's like HBO. And then I saw like Warner Media, and I'm like, oh wait, HBO's Warner's.
Okay, so Titans is on HBO Max. Okay, I do have that.
Oh, but it's on Netflix as well.
Oh, okay. I'm surprised that's on both.
Because
They
it's
only
actually
have one.
because Titans is a Netflix original.
Oh. Unless it's because it's here they put it on HBO Max, and then there it's.
Potentially it could be that DC has like some agreements with HBO or Warner Media, but because Netflix also made the series, they got the rights to it too, and so it's on Netflix and HBO Max. I don't know.
Oh,
Actually,
it must be
it
there.
might.
It's not on Netflix here.
Oh, okay. So yeah, okay.
HBO Max.
So it's because HBO Max is not here, is not available here. HBO Go is, but HBO Max isn't.
Got
So
it.
that's why it's on Netflix here, but not on HBO.
It's funny.
And you guys have it on. Okay.
And like it brings up Demon Slayer. It's like, well, explore titles related to. And then
Oh, okay. Yeah.
it's got Demon Slayer in there. And like,
I still hate how like Dark Matter. Like I've been rewatching the show today again, and I still hate like how it's not available on Netflix in Europe. Like,
Oh, yeah.
why? Like, I get the Titans thing. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like it's available on HBO Max in the US and it's available on Netflix here in Europe because HBO Max is not a thing in Europe, or at least in my particular region within Europe. But like, there is nowhere else to get Dark Matter here in Europe. Unless some network decides to rebroadcast the episodes again. Which they won't because it's not a finished show.
I'm pretty sure Dark Matter. Yes. No, I did watch that one. That one was really good.
Yeah, I loved it.
Fantastic.
I hated it. I hate not the show. I hated how they ended it because
It's been a while since it's been a long time since I actually did watch it.
it's like
But,
it's like I feel like
recall it ending not well.
it ends with a huge ass cliffhanger basically.
Ugh. Yeah,
Uh,
wasn't it that like I mean I'm assuming that was because they thought that they were going to be able to
Yeah, they
have seasons, but they
because
kinda
they basically what happened was that they finished the shooting for and editing and everything for Dark Matter season 3. Then it aired, and after season 3 aired, the NBC, I think actually, because NBC owns Sci-Fi, I'm pretty sure. So they just told Joseph Malozzi, who's the guy who wrote the show, or maybe not wrote the show, but he produced it. I mean, he co-wrote it. I'm pretty sure of that. So they told him he's not getting another season after everything's already been shot and aired,
That's the worst. That is the worst.
or maybe like before the last 2 episodes were aired, just something like that. But like I know that it was like basically okay, so we're getting ready for another season. Nope, you're not having another season.
Oh, yeah, that is just
So
absolutely
yeah,
the worst. You know what else I've been watching?
and it's like you could see how like he kind of expected that if they were to cancel the show, they would cancel it in the first season, because like the first season, the way it ends, you could literally just end it right there, right? If you remember how the first season ends.
Yes. The first season like closed it out, but then
Yeah,
There was just 2 seasons or
three. There's 3 seasons. So first season ends with basically the crew getting arrested, right?
right? Yes.
Yeah, thrown into prison. That's how it ends. And like, you could easily safely end it there because that's not a cliffhanger. Like, you can continue it,
Yeah,
like have a prison escape and stuff like that, or you could just they've been put in prison. So yeah, no, that's over. So like he just like was ready that they would cancel it. If they would cancel it, they would cancel it right there. Then he made the second season. I actually don't know if there was much of a cliffhanger there because I don't remember it. I have actually, yeah, I only remember that there's a huge ass cliffhanger at the end of season 3 because that's what we've been left with.
Yeah, exactly.
And that
like it's in my head, and I can only think of that.
and that season 1 ended in the way it did, and that basically like it could have ended there if the NBC planned on canceling it. Like,
right.
I would literally be happier if Dark Matter had just 1 season instead of like the 3 it has now with a totally incomplete story.
It's
not even
cliffhanger. Because I want to segue you into another show that you haven't seen. I guarantee it.
All right.
Truth Seekers. You like
the name?
Peg and
the name is familiar, but
and Nick Frost. Like Shaun of the Dead guys.
Okay, no, I have not seen it.
Okay, so it's about like the paranormal investigator, and it like goes into like all this like supernatural stuff, but like I feel like even just trying to explain it, like it's like that pales in comparison. But I don't want to give away like too much because I don't want to I don't want to like give you any spoilers. It's only 1 season, and hopefully I'm like crossing my fingers because I swear to God, if they don't renew this show for a second season, I might flip out. Like it'll be Firefly all over again. Like, but it's so freaking good. Like every episode you're like picking up on new things, and they have it like cleverly like hidden and woven through. Like it's like one of those ones that you have to watch like the whole season like twice if not 3 times to do like be catching. Like me and Vin, like we like binged it like crazy, back to back to back, everything, and like across like 2 days, and then we've rewatched the whole like that whole season like 8 times. Like it only just came out at Halloween.
Okay.
So I like went through and just like crushed it. But it's just like you'll be like, even still, like we'll be watching and like, oh my gosh, I didn't notice that the last time. Like I didn't notice that. Like this little thing was this. It's like there's so many just like cleverly hidden little details. It's fantastic. I mean, I love those type of shows, like because it just the rewatchability is just like it's so fun. It makes it interesting. Whereas a lot of other shows, it's like, okay, well, I've seen it, I know how it ends, so I'm not going back there.
Yeah, that's I don't know. It's like it's kind of weird about me. Like I even like how games are just like sometimes don't have replay value, right?
Yeah, some just don't. It could be like a fantastic game, but it's just not worth replaying. Yeah.
That's not the thing for me.
Oh.
I've literally sunken about 200 or 300 hours into Deus Ex Mankind Divided and Human Revolution.
Well, of course, that's not the case across every game, though.
No, but I don't play that many games. Like, like okay, yeah, I played many games, but most games like I play nowadays are multiplayer, or sandbox or something like that. Like, sure, I've got 200 games or 233 games in my Steam library, but most are like 3D Tower or 7 Days to Die or Among Us. Like, it's that kind of game.
Yeah.
And then there's
I've obviously got some that I've played like 1,000,000 times too. So.
But like, if I go into my Steam profile right now, come on.
Yeah, see, I've got 170 games total.
Like, my Steam profile says 123, but when I go into my library it says 233, so
yeah.
who's right? So I've got 158 hours in Deus Ex Mankind Divided, 147 hours in Deus Ex Human Revolution, and another
Phobia than that.
and another 71 hours in Deus Ex Human Revolution Director's Cut. So yeah, it's like, but the thing is, like, I found everything there is to find in Deus Ex Mankind Divided on literally the first playthrough. Like, my first playthrough of Deus Ex Mankind Divided was literally like there's the point, like, you have the intro mission, right?
I've never played it, so
Yeah, I know. So, anyways, I should stop using right.
tell me.
Yeah, so you've got the intro mission, and like it's basically an intro mission, whatever. You finish it, and then like, you're dropped into the city of Prague, because most of the game takes place in Prague. Funnily enough. Funnily enough, because I live about 1 hour from Prague.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
Anyways, point is, you play in Prague, and like you get dropped into Prague, into your apartment or your character's apartment, and his augmentations, because the whole game is kind of cyberpunky. His augmentations are malfunctioning, so a lot of the like things that you need to progress sometimes, like higher to progress more easily, I should rather say, a lot of those things are not available, and like the only thing you have to do is do the first story mission in there in order to be able to like gather augmentation points and unlock augmentations and be able to do these things. Instead, I literally scoured the entire Prague for side quests and finished them all before going to the first main mission in there. And then I unlocked like half my augmentations right from the start, because I had so many points from the experience that I gathered from those side quests. So yeah, and that was my first playthrough. I was like, okay, so I guess there should be more side missions now, and I'm like, okay, there aren't anymore. Huh, interesting. Of course, like more missions, more side quests get really revealed as you progress with the story, because you know there's like Prague 1, Prague 2, Prague 3, whatever. As you know, basically, depending on the time or in the story, there are some missions available, and every time you change locations, those missions basically expire. So, yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
So that's the thing. It's funny, like some side missions actually like kind of boil over, you could say, into your main story, which was a nice touch that I really liked. It reminded me of the way Cyberpunk CDPR does things. CD Projekt Red, by the way. You know how, like, in Cyberpunk, for example, you had those side quests with your romantic interests, and depending on who you went with and what side quests you did,
right, yeah.
you would end up with that person in the end. So, and like it also affected the story, of course, like how it went. So yeah. But like this, like it's not really like in Deus Ex Mankind Divided. I mean, it's not really something that like affects the story a whole lot. It just, like, at least there's like a sort of acknowledgement that you did this thing, so now you have this. That being said, it's I would say kind of linear in a way, because the triggers that you would expect to be tied to certain things you've done in the past. For example, when you're first in Prague, your doctor gives you because there's a ton of hidden augmentations in your body that you didn't even know you've had, and in order to be able to use them like to the fullest extent, you need to have some tech recalibrated. For that, you need to get something from some guy in some casino who's a part of a crime family, basically. And you have two options on how to approach that. You either go like straight through him, by which I mean you basically talk to him and have a conversation, during which you may or may not convince him to give you the thing. Or you can just completely bypass that, sneak in, and get the thing and sneak out. He doesn't even know you. And depending on how that went, if you had a conversation and if you successfully convinced him to give you the thing without having to sneak around and stuff, or shoot up everybody,
Right.
because that's also an option, of course.
Yeah.
I just avoid it because I do. Like, I also, it's really easy to get killed that way. Anyways, in like then there's a next section, essentially, like a different location, and that guy that you had the option to talk to and convince him to give you the thing, he contacts you. And because my first playthrough was with me talking to the guy, I was like, oh, so that's the consequence of me convincing him and taking him up on his deal. Turns out that's not the consequence of that, because he contacts you anyway. Either ways, it's just there's a reference to the conversation if you had the conversation. Otherwise, there's no reference, and he just contacts you out of the blue and asks you to do a thing for him. So yeah. Actually,
Sorry, sneeze.
that's fine. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, maybe he doesn't. I don't know. Oh yeah, he does. He does. But the funny part is that, like, so basically he tells you to get rid of a guy. That's the thing. That's like what you are supposed to do for him in exchange for him giving you the thing you needed. So you're supposed to get rid of a guy, and you can either get rid of him in the sense that you kill him, or a valid solution is just telling the guy, hey, he's after you, and he just goes off. So you can get rid of him by letting him live, by warning him, and yeah, because the guy tells you to get rid of him, and what he's really interested in, like what he really wants from you, was for that guy to be unable to interfere with whatever he wants to do. So when you warn him that the guy is going after him, he just runs off somewhere else, and therefore can't interfere anymore. So you've done the mission. You've done what he asked. I kind of like that, like how there's some slightly less obvious solutions to problems in the game. I've also I've played Hitman, no, Deus Ex Human Revolution a lot, and again, there's a ton of solutions to one problem, and you can always just beat up everybody or shoot up everybody, or you can go through talking to people and trying to convince them. And also there's convincing through augmentations and convincing normally. Because for example in that game there's there's a time you need to get into the police morgue, and you can talk to the guy at the reception desk, and you can either try to convince him using normal dialogue options, which is, by the way, is possible every time, or you can if you bought the social interaction enhancer augmentation, you can actually use the augmentation on him to convince him. But depending on the way you convinced him, or if you convinced him, of course, later in the day or in the timeline of the game, he comes over to where you live, and if you used the augmentation to convince him, he's pissed. He's pissed in both cases, but in the first case, it's basically because you didn't use the augmentation, your approach to him now is slightly more human, in the sense that your character now offers him a job with the company he's working at. Because he's a cop and your guy is the chief of security at the company. Anyways, so that happens if you don't use the augmentation. So in a sense, it's there's more humanity left in you because you didn't use the augmentation in this scenario. And then if you use the augmentation, you don't make that offer. You don't have even the option to do so. And that leads to a fight, a literal fight. He pulls out a gun and starts shooting at you. And of course you can just pacify him, because pulling out a gun in this game takes a while.
It does. Oh,
Yeah.
so
It's
no
like,
quick shots. No scope.
and it's like, it's the funniest thing. Like you just, it's if you are like right in front of the person that you're about to get into a fight with, they basically don't stand a chance. Because if you end the conversation with "I'm gonna fight you," or something, basically something that with something that will result in a fight, you have about half a second to press Q. I think I don't remember, but basically, it's the key you use to knock somebody out. So you have that like time to do so, and obviously, like because you are the chief of security, you are an ex-SWAT officer and everything like that. You draw your guns, especially if it's like a stun gun or something like that, so light weapons. You draw them much faster than they do, pretty much always. So it's always, almost every time, it's like even easier to like use a stun gun to just knock them out that way. Anyways,
Yes. Yeah.
it's now been about an hour and a half almost. I'm pretty sure. So
Yeah, I think I've got some dinner making to do, so
yeah,
starting to get
that as well. So I think we're gonna end there and end this now. And yeah, anyways, thank you guys,
glad we got the
everyone. Yeah, it's been nice to get that out there. But thank you guys for watching, and yeah, I hope we'll see you guys in another TA podcast episode. Hopefully sooner than in 2 years.
definitely, definitely sooner.
Anyway, see ya. I've been Rad, and this has been.
And this is MissAnthropy.